You're listening to the Platte River Bard.
Hello, and welcome to the Platte River Bard. This is Chris Berger.
And I'm Sherry Berger.
And we are here sitting in the Shelterbelt Theatre, and we are talking with some Shelterbelt folks. We are talking with some Angel Theaters folks. We're talking with Dana Schweiger, of course. Very nice. And we're also talking, in our center square once again, is Jamie Bullins. And Jennifer Gilg is also joining us.
Yes, veterans on the podcast. I love it.
Yes. Thank you all once again for joining us. Everybody's old hat at this. Thank you. Thank you for having us at Shelterbelt again.
Thank you for coming.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
Now, you guys are, between Angels and Shelterbelt, you guys are putting together at different times a play called Pivot, which is locally written, correct?
So Alex Lubischer is originally from Nebraska, and he currently lives in Chicago. And this play was done at the Great Plains Theater Commons last summer, and that's where I saw it, and I think that's where Angel saw it.
Mm-hmm. And then we did a salon, we put it in our salon reading series last year, and I directed that reading, and then we put it in the season.
Nice. Okay, so now...
They're first.
There, because say Shelterbelt's first.
Yep.
So
Shelterbelt's first.
So Angels was first with the salon reading.
Right. Yes. They got the salon reading.
We're the first to do it here. It's a rolling regional premiere, so it's being done in multiple places throughout the year. So we are doing it first here, coming up in August, the end of August, August 28th through September 14th, and then it goes down to Lincoln at Angels Theater Company.
Mm-hmm. And we open on October 9th and run through the 19th.
Very nice. Okay, so, all right. So, Omaha and Lincoln. And now you are directing the Angels version of it, and Dana is directing...
The one here at Shelterbelt.
The one here at Shelterbelt. Okay, well...
And I will just add that
Jennifer,
far as I know, there is a production in the works at a theater in Chicago as well.
Yeah.
But I have not... received full confirmation of that, but that was certainly
yes, and that would be the third of the regional, the rolling regional premiere. Yes.
Hey, cool. This is really cool. Okay, so how did this all come about? Obviously, I mean, through the Great Plains Theater Conference, and he's still submitting stuff, Alex is, and all this kind of thing. But I mean, you guys grabbed onto this immediately, and how did you both end up sort of interested in this and doing this rolling premiere?
Sure. So Shelterbelt Theater is known for producing new works. And so obviously it hit the mission statement of a new work. And being that Alex is from Nebraska originally, even though he's not, living here now, he still has family here in parts of Nebraska. And the play takes place in Nebraska. So it was a natural fit for Shelterbelt.
Cool. All right. So I got to ask, what, avoiding spoilers, what is the play about? What are we dealing with here? Pivot.
Sure. So it's about the wedding of Levi and Kara, and wedding plans just kind of blow up in their face, and and then you just kind of have to pivot as far as how you deal with certain situations. So I'm not going to say much more than that, or I think I'm going to give away some plot lines. Jamie, you want to...
First of all, before I go into that, I would just say ditto in terms of answering the question that you asked her about how we got it. Ditto. Okay. Because Angels is very much about new work.
You guys are all about new stuff as well.
Things that connect to the community.
Yes.
Ditto, what she said.
Yes.
There is... The Pivot, too, also connects with like some major shifts, pivots of viewpoints as well, like of people changing their viewpoints about other people or their particular role in their own world as well. It's multifaceted, one might say.
Interesting. Now, as far as the play itself, is this a finished play, or like you did the reading? Did it go back to Alex, and did he mess with the script a little bit, and now you guys are doing an updated version? And is it his intent to still keep messing with it? Is this still a work in progress, or is this finished?
I don't think he changed anything.
Is this finished?
I think it's pretty.
Sometimes with these,
it's pretty much finished. I think there was like maybe a line change or two. We can talk about that after.
Thing.
But but outside of that, it's pretty much finished.
Yeah, I have a word that I want to ditch that I need to ask him about, but
is there a word that's getting to you?
It just doesn't sound good in the the rhythm of the line. I'm just like, can we just cross this one word out? Which I haven't asked him yet. But I think I mean it's tight. It's a good play.
And it moves fast. It's short.
Yeah,
it's a short play.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like less than 2 hours overall. Yeah,
Even with the intermission.
Yeah, even with an intermission, it's great. I mean, I think this is a play that literally, if you're in Nebraska, you should come see it here, and then come see it in Lincoln as well, because it's such a good play. It's just,
Well, in two different casts. I'm assuming now you guys have already cast and you're in rehearsals
Correct.
here at Shelterbelt.
we're us too.
And you guys are already in rehearsals as well.
Yeah.
Interesting. You guys got to go see each other's.
Oh, I'm going to come see you.
I'm gonna
Oh,
say-
we've
you guys-
already talked
yeah.
about as a cast that we're planning on coming down to see the show. So
Well, our tickets are for sale, so
so are ours.
yeah, jump on. Well, here's the thing. I'm coming to see your production, but I told my cast they couldn't.
Oh, yeah, that's
that makes
I
sense.
understand that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I was like, I'm not sure about how that would work for
Right.
you, so you're not allowed to see it, but I'm coming.
My cast will all come down and say,
Fair enough.
you should have done what Jamie did. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, everybody's going to critique the other show.
Yeah. But
That'll be neat, though.
Yeah.
That you guys will get to see completely different casts, completely different directors, completely different venues direct the same show.
Yeah, and I think, and Jamie
That's
can probably agree on this. I think that's one of the exciting things about doing new works is you're one of the first people to breathe life into a script, right? And so, and that's what's even more outstanding about this show is that both productions are happening within a couple of months of each other. Two completely different casts, two completely different takes on the script by the directors. And it just is going to bring all of these characters to life. And I think it's exciting.
yeah.
It is exciting.
You were going to
Yeah,
say something.
I think it'll be really informative to Alex to see if he does want to change. If there's something not landing in Nebraska, then that's
Sure, yeah, because
something
Chicago,
he's
Nebraska.
going to want to know.
Yeah, different.
But I think that's part of the process of the rolling regional premiere. We haven't really talked about it, but that term is sort of a term of art used by the National New Play Network.
Correct, yeah.
So the idea is a little bit of collaboration between the theaters, sharing what works, what didn't work, and
That's really
cool.
cool.
Honestly, Shelterbelt sort of backed into that. We didn't set out to,
Oh.
we just liked the play.
Yeah.
But learning a little bit more about what that process is, I do think it would benefit the play and the playwright to just see it, in a short amount of time, produced in different ways. And I think it helps probably market the play. It gets a little bit of momentum going. So it's good in that way for, the writer for sure.
Oh, and it's got to be helpful since it is set in Nebraska that you have two productions also set in Nebraska, done by Nebraska folks, watched by Nebraska people. I think that's probably got to be so valuable.
Well, and
for him.
if we mess something up, they will tell us, right? Because
it's true.
last year we did a production of Eminent Domain. That was our show last spring, and which also took place in Nebraska. And the only comment we got from a cast member was there was a scene where Scott Shoemaker was in that show, and he came out wearing these working gloves. And the only comment we got from an audience member, except positive comments, was those are the wrong kind of gloves. And I was like, well, so I'm freaking out about the beer.
Right?
Right?
Oh, yeah.
The beer at the wedding reception that George cracks
right.
open. I'm like, what kind of beer does that have to be? Oh, my God. Who bought that beer? Did Kara buy that beer? Did Levi pick that beer? Who picked that beer?
Right.
It
What kind
can't
of
be
beer are they
Blue
gonna
Moon.
get?
That's a
No,
Doug beer, right?
right.
So it's, what is it going to be? That's
right.
You know,
it's
and
not
so I'm
Doug's
like
beer.
freaking out about what kind of beer to put in the wedding reception because I don't want anybody to come up to me and be like, we won't drink that at a wedding reception. So I'm a little nervous.
Well, I love to
Good
see this
point.
collaboration though between Omaha and Lincoln. What a perfect thing for us because we know you both and how cool it is that two cities have gotten together to do this.
Well, we need to. We've talked about this before. We need to break down whatever that
Yes.
chasm is, whatever that huge
Yeah.
distance is between Lincoln and Omaha. Because
For sure.
the other thing too is, and I don't know if you guys are running into this in Omaha because you're a larger city, right? In Lincoln, we have too many. Can I curse? Too many damn theaters in town for the amount of people that we have who do theater, right? So like this summer, I'll give you a great example. Our First Flight Festival, which is our new short place, like you guys do, Shelter.
Skelter.
Shelter. Which one of my students has a play in that. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Which one?
Regina. She's one of my students.
And it is the
Which play was it? I only read it
it's
once.
the one where the murder keeps repeating.
Yeah. She's one of my kids. She's
that
so
script.
talented. She's so talented.
That script is awesome.
And she's only been writing a year, just
Wow.
a year. And she's already written like 3 full-length plays.
Good
We're
for
doing
her.
one in the Salon Reading Series. I don't think she sleeps. But but the thing about so the First Flight Festival, we had 14 short pieces. Chris directed one of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I had 38 people in that ensemble. 38 performers. How the bejesus do you find 38 performers in the summer when Pinewood Bowl is auditioning?
Yes.
Nebraska Community Playhouse is auditioning. Lincoln Community Playhouse
Flatwater
is auditioning.
Shakespeare was
Flatwater Shakespeare is auditioning. The Loft Community Theater is auditioning. I'm
For
like,
their
how
thing.
do I get 38 people when there's all that draw on our pool of talent? And so one of my goals is, I'm sure Omaha has extra talent and people who would like to drive to Lincoln to do shows.
Yeah.
And so
And there are people that have driven from Omaha to do shows down in Lincoln.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
See
so
it all the time.
that's one of the things I'm like, I want to get rid of that chasm of distance, that implied distance between Omaha and Lincoln,
sure.
because we need people, right? I need to sort of an influx of new people in Lincoln. Hopefully it won't piss off the people in Lincoln that I said that. Sorry.
No,
But we just have so many opportunities that are pumping up. In the past, there used to be like maybe 2 or 3 companies that did summer shows, and now there's like 5.
Yeah.
And so
That used to be the same way in Omaha.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then a lot of the little theaters closed down, so it's not as much. But you're right. I mean, in the summers here, it used to just be Nebraska Shakespeare. And now it seems like a lot of theaters are doing shows over the summer.
Big
so.
summer show.
Yeah, we have some theaters. That's all they do is summer
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah, some of them
Here.
just do the summertime stuff and don't do anything else for the rest of the year. I love the idea of Lincoln and Omaha people going back and forth, because I've done it and I like it, just because I get to work with so many different people.
Yeah.
And it's neat when the Omaha and Lincoln people get to work with each other, because they've never worked with each other before.
And one of my favorite stage
I love it.
managers that I use all the time for Angel, she lives in Omaha. She drives back and forth. So
Yeah.
she's great.
Yeah.
I'm going to a Lincoln show tomorrow because I have
Hey.
a friend who
Hey, cool.
did a show here. So,
What are you
What are you
what-
going to see?
Come From Away.
I'm going to
boy.
see. I've already seen it once. And
heard
then
it's
I'm going to see it
spectacular.
next Saturday again. I
And
wrote
they
an
just
appearing
added a
locally
performance.
review for it.
Did you write the appearing locally?
Well,
Cool.
actually there were 2. We had 2,
nice.
which is fine. But mine is very short. Mine basically says, "Go get your damn tickets now."
Yeah.
It's amazing. They did a great job.
So
Well,
Maury was saying more.
My friend is Julie Enerson.
I know
so
Julie.
she's-
She was my
she's-
prop person for
I
the
think
last show I
Dana knows her
directed.
as well,
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Cool.
No, she's great in that role. She really. I'd never seen Julie act before.
I can completely see it.
Only knew her as a prop person, right? And then I
Oh,
went to see
wow.
the show, and I was like, "Holy shit, she's
Oh,
fantastic!"
yeah, no, she's
That's
fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, it's
cool.
man. If you like that musical, they did a great job with it, and I'm so proud. Oh my God, they were just so good.
And we can, since we're plugging it, we
Uh-huh.
can mention that I just got the press release from Maury this week that they added a performance.
Yes, Saturday at 2 o'clock
2,
next Saturday.
The 23rd.
I just barely got seated.
Did you
for
barely
tomorrow
get his
night,
ticket? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's selling out like crazy. In fact, I was supposed
That's
to go next Friday, and then I had a conflict, and I called Larissa, their house manager, and I was like, "Could you switch my tickets to that new Saturday matinee?" And she was like, "Absolutely." So, but yeah, when you go on to look for tickets, you get like there's a dot over here and a dot over there.
Yeah.
That's all that's available.
Wow,
So-
good for them.
Well, I'm so
Yeah.
happy for them. That's one of the things I think that is super important in our community, and I know you guys feel the same way. Is I want all of the arts people and
Yes.
organizations in the area to succeed,
Yes,
Yes.
please.
because I don't really feel like. I mean, there's really the only competition we have is Shelterbelt, and there's so far.
And we
you
just
know,
need to start swapping scripts.
we do.
Sure.
Hey, I haven't picked one for the spring of 27, so let me know what you got.
I know. It seems
but-
like the biggest competition anymore is the damn, the television, the streaming, and computers. Is everybody
Yeah.
just like, oh, I'll go home and stream something. Same with the movie theaters. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. There's definitely competition for attention because
Yeah.
For
you
sure.
know we do always worry about finding the audience for our shows, and when you're doing new works and you don't have nobody has a frame of reference, or
Yeah.
oh, I heard that was great, they did it on Broadway 3 years ago. You can't say anything like that.
No.
You have to hope that people have an adventurous spirit
Yeah.
and
And then we have to be clever. right? So I consider Shelterbelt like our sister organization, because Angels does only new work, and you guys do only new work,
Yeah,
and
which I love.
it's fantastic. But to build those audiences for new things like that, you just have to be clever, which you guys have already done. I
And
saw
that's
that wedding
gotta be
invitation that
hard.
you put online. It's so funny because my PR person and I were talking, and I was like, we have to send out a wedding invitation, and then you guys posted yours, and I was like, damn it, why are there so many smart people? So
We'll
Right.
see if it works.
Well, great idea.
We're actually going to snail mail ours out.
Oh, that's nice.
In
yeah.
an actual,
Yeah.
like an invitation.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
That'll be fun.
That's fun.
So I had that idea from the beginning, and then I saw yours online. I was like, Stephanie, you're not putting this online ever. I was like, we're only mailing it out.
I think that's a great idea.
Share ideas.
So, but it's I think it's exciting, right? You know what we get to do.
I
This
think
is
it's
this is
exciting.
as a result of this very long positivity podcast I had to do today.
Okay, sure.
But I think what we do is just so important in terms
I
of
agree.
community and culture, and
I agree.
and also, according to this gentleman, our mental well-being.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
So,
I second that.
sure.
Well, I'm really happy, and that both of your organizations are exclusively new stuff. I think that's fantastic, and I think it's awesome that you've been able to make a go at it, because being at different theaters and stuff, you constantly hear that, if people don't know it, they won't go see it, and there's always that conversation. It's like, or just a straight play, they don't do as well as musicals, and you guys have managed to not do musicals.
except in First Flight.
Yes, except in First Flight, you did 10-minute musical, which was great.
We
was
actually
great.
do.
It
We
was
actually
really
did
good.
a musical.
Yeah, they did.
We
I saw
actually
That's right.
the
Well, you did
Lizzie.
Lizzie
We did
Borden.
Lizzie.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
amazing. That was
True.
fantastic.
You did the Lizzie Borden,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's not constant.
No.
Big blockbuster musicals. You guys are making a go of it without having to do
Yeah.
the big sort of.
And
come
doing
from-
musicals is effing expensive.
It's
It
really
is.
expensive,
especially if they're larger. And also, I think doing new musicals. You and I have talked about it. I have
For sure.
I have a full length musical that one of my writers is working on, and all we're planning on doing this year is just hopefully a sing through with music stands.
Do like a
piano
reading,
piano
yeah.
player.
Yeah.
So that we can.
It's hard
actually,
to even rehearse a reading
Yeah.
for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I think it's fantastic what you guys are doing.
It's tempting to do the musicals because
I'm
they
sure
do
they bring in the
draw
money. That's the
people,
thing.
but they are expensive, so it's it's
Well, and
a
it's even. And
risk
how do
as
you
well.
then do a new musical? Because then it's the same problem. You say it's a musical, but it's new, and people are
But-
like, "Oh, new musical.
Yeah.
What's that?" And then you're
Right.
This is about like a recognizable thing.
Well, Lizzie was that.
Lizzie was that.
It
Was
was so
like,
fantastic.
everybody knows that story. So
Right.
yeah,
It's great. That's
And-
why I'm going to force myself to write a play about Charles Starkweather, because everybody knows him. So,
There you go. Charles Starkweather, the musical.
oh yeah, I'm not a musical writer, so it won't be that. But
But you know
They
what?
did already just do that play. I don't know. It was pre-pandemic in
Which
Lincoln
one?
about
Starkweather.
The Starkweather deal.
There's been
been a
several
couple of them.
iterations.
Oh, I'm
of
sure there have been.
Starkweather.
Yeah.
I'm trying to write one that's
Yeah.
different.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that's going to work,
Interesting.
but I haven't started yet. I just started reading, so you know how long that process can go.
Yes.
So
And then in Beatrice, they did the one about the five.
Oh, the Beatrice Five.
Yeah.
oh yes. Well, they did an HBO
Yeah, and they
special
did.
about
Yes,
that.
and they
damn
did,
thing.
and they
I-
did it out there
Yeah,
too.
I watched
yeah,
that.
I watched it. That was good.
It was
Yeah.
good.
It was
Yeah. For sure. So okay. What else do we want to make sure that we say about Pivot here? Because we've been talking about all kinds of stuff.
I know. But it's good. It's great. It's good to say.
Pivoting.
Pivoting.
Look how I did that. No, you hated how I did that. Pivot. Let's pivot back to Pivot. So now tell me something about Pivot that everybody needs to know when they're coming to see it.
It's good.
Okay.
I would say it's surprising.
Okay.
I remember when I actually was introduced to it after it was on our season, but I had not seen it Great Plains. So I went to see the Angels reading.
Okay.
And it takes some turns that just kind of come out of nowhere.
totally didn't see
but
coming.
they make sense. But it's the last play that I can think of that I thought I was going into a story, and all of a sudden I was in a completely different story. And I really liked that about the play. So
that
it's
too, yeah.
it's unpredictable in the best of ways.
I've had two of my designers say the same thing when they read it the first time. They said, first time I read this play, I threw it on the floor
Oh, really?
because of the first
Yes.
sort of
Yeah.
twist or
Yep,
whatever.
for the first
the
twist.
first twist.
Yep.
Literally, my scene designer sent me a meme of somebody throwing a book out the window, and he was like, when I was reading it, the first time I read it, I was like, what the?
My stage manager was like that too. She was
Yeah.
like, "What did you send me? What are you making me do?"
It's
Yeah.
that into that first scene. I was like,
Yeah.
I love that.
are we
though.
done? What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I love that.
And then she's right. There are lots of fun twists, and it's interesting because the play's about grief. It's about
Okay.
it's about natural farming. It's about
Okay.
homosexuality and acceptance. It's about family. It's about defining family. It's about
Finding your family.
Finding your family.
Finding family.
Our theme for next year is find your place, and it fits perfectly into find your place. I mean, there's a
Absolutely.
character that basically says that out loud in her lines, and so there's a lot going on. The greatest thing I think about this play is no matter who you are, you're going to come and you're going to watch it, and you're going to identify with somebody. You're going to identify with somebody in this play. The characters themselves are so wide ranging,
And it's incredibly funny.
Oh, it's dark, but it's funny.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Dark humor.
Both things I enjoy.
Yeah.
So, for kind of a logistics question, so this is a new work. So, do you have everything that you need to make your sets? I mean, obviously, blocking is something that changes, but in new works, do you have kind of the same thing that you would have on a licensed play that would tell you certain things that you'd need for your set, or?
I think
type of thing?
I think there has to be some adaptability, right? And we were kind of talking about this off mic a little bit. When Alex did this, it was his thesis project at Yale, and it's kind of a bigger space, right? We're a smaller space. We were talking about how Angels, is even a smaller space, and it's outdoors as opposed to us that we're indoors. So when you have something like that, sometimes you have to try and figure out what you can do on a budget that's still kind of the words are not coming to me, but you want to stay true to what the playwright intended, right?
Sure.
So, there's a whole big thing with the wedding reception, and it's depending on, well, geez, you've got a big space, and the playwright talks about, there are all of these tables in this barn, and it's like, we're in a small theater. We can't do big, huge tables, or if we can, so there's a lot of trying to do what you can within your means but still, have the playwright's ideas and his vision as well. So.
Well, yeah, because we're performing at Wyuka Stables, right? Which is where Flatwater does all their shows.
You're doing the Wyuka Stables.
Yeah, so we're at Wyuka
Cool.
Stables, which is a brick courtyard, and it's outdoors. And
Yeah.
it has nothing. So, like, when we have to load in all our own lights, all our lighting equipment,
Oh,
all our
wow.
sound equipment, everything. We have to put our soundboard in, our light board in. None of that stuff is there. And so we have one day, basically, to load everything in.
To load it in and set up, yeah.
And so it's a challenge in terms of, like, the space itself. But it's also a perfect space for this show in terms of, like, it basically the majority of the play, or the climax of the play, takes place in a barn. And
Okay, cool.
we're in a barn. And I think that's gonna be, the challenges for us. There's a scene in an Applebee's, so we have to deal with that. And then there's a very challenging scene that I won't say anything about, that I even asked Alex about, and I was like, are you sure you want to keep this in there? And he was like, yeah, I think it means this. I was like, well, okay, you got reasons, I'm not going to argue with you. But
Right.
when I first read it, I was like, do we really need that?
I know that scene. I know what you're talking about.
Everybody knows that
Right.
scene.
Okay.
You will know what scene I'm talking about
Yep.
once you see it.
Sounds good.
And so it's, but I think we have the same thing in terms of, like, a tried and true play, in terms of, like, making it happen physically. Because Alex, of course, gave us all the information in the script we need to start.
Sure.
And then we hand it over to designers who are very capable, and we let them do whatever they're going to do. I'm sure my scene designer will do different things than you guys' scene designer does, and our lighting designer is the same thing. And sound is a big thing for me. So I'm a huge sound fanatic. So I've
Yes.
created this huge, long Spotify list that I'm making my designers and cast and Alex listen to. So
Interesting. Yeah, I talked to him about
He's
some
big with that. Yeah.
music stuff, and he gave me some ideas. I'm going to go in a different direction, so I'll probably tick him off. So he'll love you more.
Nice. Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, I usually create a Spotify list for every show I direct, and then I just share it with everybody. And I'm like, listen to this while you're working on it. And some of that music will end up in the show for like scene change music and curtain call and stuff like that, pre-show and things
pre-show,
like that.
Yeah, sure.
And there are moments in the play that you have to have music. It is necessary. And so and Alex really didn't dictate what that music is. I mean, Kara does one song. She dictates at least the genre and the artist.
Okay.
But so it's pretty flexible in that way. Yeah, it's.
I'm a big fan of using music in straight plays.
Well, you know, music
I'm a big
music
fan.
does shit to people.
I know,
Right?
And
And
that's why we
so-
have it in
Exactly.
movies.
It's exactly. It's
yeah.
in movies, and I'm surprised that it's not used more in plays to evoke emotions, right, and things like that. Yeah.
Because I can name.
Big
I mean, I'm
fan.
a huge music nut, so I can name like a handful of soundtracks right off the top of my head
yes.
that are like I don't remember much about that movie, but I remember that soundtrack.
Yep.
You know, it's like Reality Bites. You remember the soundtrack. Vision Quest. Shitty
Oh my
movie.
God,
You
yes.
don't remember the
Vision
movie,
Quest.
but their soundtrack was amazing.
Amazing,
right?
yes.
High fidelity, fantastic soundtrack.
Yes.
You know, and so those movies,
good
you're
movie,
like,
though.
these are great soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think plays need and deserve the same depth of intention in the choices of music that you apply.
I agree. I'm a huge fan. That's like, yeah, try going and pulling your soundtrack music out of your favorite movie. And I've seen some videos on that where they're just talking about the importance of music in
Oh, yeah.
media and all that. And it's not the same thing. It's a completely different experience.
The Guardians of the Galaxy films, is that James Gunn?
Oh yeah, James Gunn.
Right,
He just did the Superman.
he's phenomenal for that in terms of like
He's a big music guy.
Watch Peacemaker.
Yes.
That TV show, right?
Yes.
The music in Peacemaker is all like Swedish heavy metal.
Yes, it is.
But it is so apt and so
works.
connected. It's like you watch it and you're like, I've never heard Swedish heavy metal before, but I can't imagine this using anything else.
I know.
And so, yeah, he's amazing at that.
Yeah, he's a big music guy.
yeah.
I'm such a huge fan of music in straight plays. Big fan. I'm glad you guys are doing that. I'm glad. It sounds like he allowed for that in the script.
Well, there are a couple
For-
of places
for
specifically
music
that
to
that
be-
he talks about music.
Yeah, there are a couple of very
Used, not-
very specific places, right? And then you kind of have the little bit of creative license as we do as directors, sound
Absolutely.
designers, to say, okay, well now we're going to transition from this scene to this scene, and it's always which way are we going to do it? Are we like finalizing the scene before with the music, or are we using the music to set up what the next scene is going to be and what those emotions are to get you into it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what song you guys use in that last scene.
We'll talk about that off. We'll talk about that off because I'd be curious what you picked.
See, this is so cool. This is
I
neat.
love it.
Rolling premiere and Omaha Lincoln. You can go see both of them.
No, you should go see both.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
you should go see both of them.
Don't choose.
Compare and contrast.
Yes,
And technically,
Well-
we do know the name of the town, right? Is it Minden?
I think that's right.
Minden,
It's-
Nebraska?
it's
No, it's Milton.
Milton.
but
It's a fictional town in
It's
Nebraska.
Fictional Nebraska
Okay.
town.
I
Yes,
was thinking
fictional
it was-
Nebraska town, probably based off of Humphrey, Nebraska, which is where he's from
You
originally.
see there,
It's small.
Humphrey.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Small Nebraska town.
what Meredith did.
Exactly. We all know about those. Small Nebraska towns.
Yeah.
I just drive through them. I'm not from here.
That's actually, though, the other thing that people should know about the play is that it's very personal, and because it references a lot of what he felt growing up. He's, in my opinion, got his finger on the pulse of the small town Nebraska.
Really?
Feel. I mean, I grew up in one of those towns, and it was one of the things I connected to about the script. So, not only will it, I mean, it's got universal themes, and it's damn funny, and everyone's going to get it. Yeah. But if you've been in a small town, or especially if you've grown up in a small town, you will know these people.
So as a Nebraskan, it really resonated.
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, and it's funny because the father character's name is George, and there's a lot of stuff that comes at George that he's not ready for.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
And one of the things I talked to my cast about, I was like, look, do you know farmers in Nebraska? If there was a farmer who was someone's father in Nebraska and this came at them, how are they going to respond? and everybody knows exactly how they would respond.
Yeah,
and so
everybody knows that
so
answer,
it's
yeah.
interesting to see that, and because Alex, I think, nails it pretty well. And Alex is just a really good guy too. I've only had one conversation with him, but he's super nice.
Yeah, super.
And so, I mean, that excites me too. I mean, I like working with positive people from the beginning to the end of everybody involved in the project, from the writer to the cast to the designers to the crew. I mean, everybody. We want everybody to have a positive experience.
Yeah.
And so it's super exciting for me when I work with a playwright that's just like, I really like this person. So
For sure.
And that brings up a great point, right? How often, we work with standard plays, and it's not like you can pick up the phone and call Edward Albee, right, to have
Right.
a conversation.
Yeah.
I
So
think he's dead now.
yeah, well, yeah, okay,
The other
He wouldn't have-
side.
he
Bad
would-
choice.
He wouldn't have talked to you anyway. He was
No.
he was pretty grumpy.
right? But
Get out, you're
that's
gonna get
what
hurt.
that's what's great is when you're doing new works, right? You have whether it's someone like Laura Leininger Campbell, who we just did Buried Phoenix here, and who
Right.
did who wrote Eminent Domain that Angels did. The process of working with the playwright in the room, and it kind of you had asked the question earlier about is the play done, or is it still being
Yeah.
massaged a little bit, right? So you have somebody that's a local playwright that, yes, they get that opportunity to meet with the actors and talk about, how can I massage the play to make it better? Oh, it sounds really clunky with this sentence coming out, right? You had mentioned about I'm going to
one
remove a
word.
word
Yeah, a
because
word,
it, right? So, you hear it out loud and in a setting and you're like, oh yeah. So, and every playwright has that, right? They have their actors that they work with, but that's what's great as opposed to doing a commercial work, even if it's something that's set, like this show is pretty much, reaching out to Alex and saying, hey, would you like to sit in on a Zoom read through? And so he did. He sat and he listened to it and he laughed and he had a good time and he met the cast, and then they had the opportunity to ask him some questions, just kind of like, where was your headspace when you were doing this? Tell us a little bit about your background, which helped them with the characters. And you're not going to get that with commercial works. So
That's right, yeah.
I mean, that's another great collaborative theater.
I love that. I love that. I had the chance for the very first time, excluding First Flight, as far as, but like full plays. I had the first chance to do that with China Shop over in Lincoln, and we had access to the playwright, which was great. And I had never had that sort of luxury before of doing a new play where you get to talk to the playwright and he comes and he watches you and you get to ask him any question you want, and he'll change lines sometimes, and I think it's a hell of a fun way to do a
Oh, it
play.
was
I
fantastic.
liked it a
Yeah.
lot better.
That was
great.
Richard Manley. who
Richard
wrote
Manley,
that
for
was
sure.
at the Lincoln Community Playhouse almost 2 years ago now. It was over a year.
Yeah, it was
last
about-
year.
it was about a year last year.
And that was
Oh.
part of the American Association of Community Theaters.
Yes.
In fact, they published it.
Yes.
So,
But I got
Chris
my-
and mine's name is in this book.
Oh yeah,
That's so
we got our
exciting.
name in the book. But never had that opportunity to work on a full length play. We've done some shorter stuff with Angels, but for a full length play,
Yeah,
I think it's
Richard was really
unique.
cool too. He was really open to like if you had questions and things like that. So it's just the process, right? One of the things I
Such a
think
cool
that we get to
process.
do that other people don't get to do is we get to
Yeah.
develop work. You work with a playwright, and the process of putting it together on its feet, that's a development process, and you don't get to do that.
No,
unless
not
you
everywhere.
are committed to new work.
No,
so-
and both of these places that you guys, Angels and Shelterbelt, are committed to doing the new stuff, and you're sort of, I don't know whether shepherding or giving a space to all of the new stuff. You're basically telling everybody who's writing new stuff, hey, here's our theater, we do new stuff, come.
And everybody
You know?
comes at it in different directions. We were talking about, because Alex's play Pivot is very much settled, pretty much. I mean, there may be some tweaks here and there, but I don't think Alex is in the process of wanting to. I think he's pushed it as far as
Okay.
he wants to
He's-
push
he's
it
got
for
it
now.
where he wants it,
So he
yeah.
wants to see what happens from there. So like on the
That's
other
cool.
side of the card I just gave you is our spring show, which is The Rocket Man, is written by Crystal Skillman, and we're doing that in March. And Rocket Man is part of the National New Play Network's Rolling World Premiere, the
Is it?
national program, because it's premiering in Indianapolis, then it opens in Atlanta, and then we do it in March. And the interesting thing about it is that Crystal, this particular playwright, in the original production, that script that we got, there was a character that was double cast. So an actor was playing two different characters,
okay.
right? And then we did a reading of it, and everybody around the table was like, well, that doesn't work. It doesn't work having that actor
Same
play those
person,
two different
two
characters
different
because they're two different people, and we don't need to recognize that. And we thought it was problematic.
Okay.
So we had a long conversation. Well, Tim had a long conversation with Crystal, and Crystal was like, okay, let's change it. Well, the theater in Indianapolis had already cast. And so Crystal talked to them, and they added another cast member, and she split the roles. But the group in Atlanta talked to Crystal, and they were like, we really like the double casting. Can we just keep it? And so Crystal gets to see it
Both ways.
produced
Both ways.
fully in two different ways.
Interesting.
And then she can see how it progresses for the future. Because when we do it in March, we've split the role.
You're doing
split
the two
it.
down. Okay. you
So
split it.
Indianapolis split it, Atlanta didn't split it, and we're splitting it. So she gets to She gets to see it 3 times, and one completely different in terms of the way that it's approached.
Yeah.
And so
It would be interesting to see if in the final product, if she puts a note in there that says note to directors.
Yeah.
If you want to double cast it, you can. If you
Yeah.
want to split the roles, you can.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless she's married one way or the other
I have
to
no
it.
idea,
You know.
but I stand
it's
by
gonna
that
work out.
it works better when you split them.
You
And
think
I'm
it
glad,
work
and I was
better?
super nervous. I was like, okay, Tim, you be our representative. Go talk to her.
Okay, yeah, go
because
give
we
the bad news.
we really feel strongly about this. And I was amazed that she didn't.
She was
Some
good.
playwrights would have been like, no, that's what I want to do. So just screw you. But she didn't. She was really open and to the conversation. And I think that's, again, part of the development of a piece, right? Is having conversations about what the purpose is,
Yes.
what story are we trying to tell, and how clearly can we do it? And, there's a long way between just written on paper and putting it up here on its feet.
Yes.
And so I think it's fantastic to have all of those people working together on a process. It's something that I had not done much of until I moved to Nebraska 8 years ago, and now that's all I do is new work, and so it's super, super exciting.
That's fantastic. Well, guys, thank you for
Yeah.
inviting us and talking to us about Pivot here. Brand new play, once again, being done by Shelterbelt first, directed by Dana, and then being done, and those dates are going to be August 28th to September 14th, and then it's going to head out to Angels over in Lincoln, and that'll be from October 9th to the 19th.
And
At
then
the
also,
Wyuka
since I plugged my
Stables.
spring show, what is Shelterbelt doing next?
Yeah, and after this, what you
We're
guys
doing Shelter Skelter, which
cool.
is, well, it's a long-running tradition, and not always yearly, but it is a very popular way of
Yeah.
presenting new work. We have mostly local writers submit scripts, so we have, I think there are 9 total, and they're about
Nice.
10 minutes long. We have one from Lincoln. We have a couple of students, high school students, who have
wow.
their work being presented, and then the rest are Omaha writers. And it's a fun time. It's if you don't like one, the next one's coming up in 5-10 minutes. But it's a fun night. People like it. People dress up in their costumes, and that's our next production. Coming up, I believe October 16th is opening for that.
cool.
Great.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys so much for talking with us today.
Yes,
we
thank
always love
you.
talking with everybody here. Thanks, Jennifer, for jumping on.
Yes.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Break all the legs.
Yes,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Dana. And thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
Once again, being our center square, as always.
I love it.
All right, Pivot. It's coming up, folks, at Shelterbelt starting on August 28th. And then it's going to head out to Angels over in Lincoln. And that'll be from October 9th to the 19th.
Thank you for listening and supporting the arts in the Platte River area and beyond. Please subscribe to our podcast so you are sure to catch all of our future episodes and join us on social media. See you next time on the Platte River Bard.